Hi everyone, welcome to another video. Last video we had seen how we are able to create um, the risk analysis lambda, and we also saw how we can apply it to the step functions for it to be a part of that entire workflow. So the contract review workflow which we are trying to build. So taking this discussion a little further, what we are going to do is we will be developing a decision lambda. I already gave you some an introduction about it in the last video, that it will take the outputs from compliance and risk analysis agents and basically decide whether uh, you know uh, a particular document can be auto approved, or it needs an escalation or a human review, right? Escalation could be human review, legal review, whatever it is. So those are few things which we can fine tune, but idea is that some decision has to be made. So for that, in this video we will be um, we will basically have that in place in this video, and we'll see if we are able to also push it to step functions, or add it to step functions. Otherwise I can make a separate video on that if it is getting too big. So yeah, without wasting much time, I've just shared my screen, uh, and as always I have the prompts which have worked for me. I have little bit refined them also. uh, so let's get to that. Before that, one more thing we need to do is uh, compliance and risk analysis. We little bit need some fine tuning with respect to the output. So for that I just want the compliance main.py to be the file in the context. So what I have written in the prompt is that instead of the obviously the output passed output contains the compliance, but what I'm telling is that if we can have, apart from only the compliance status, if we can have the compliance score also. So for that we would need to change the prompt, and I've also told that if you can, since JSON search is a little bit difficult, so if we can do a text search on the overall compliance, um, and add that value which will contain the compliance score and the compliance status as one attribute in the output. Okay, so once it returns, I'll just come back. Okay. Yeah, yes, so the model has actually returned the output, and what I've done is basically we asked it to make it an overall compliance, right, at the end, something like this. So it added in the prompt so that we can have an overall compliance score as well as uh, the compliance status, right, into the in the output. Now what I've done is I have removed some redundant attributes we had previously with the result. So findings I have removed, model output raw I have removed. So basically there are only two things we are doing if you look at it. One is the model output. Now this model output contains the text after the the common fields we get when we have a response returned. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I've just made it more simpler. Okay, because a lot of lines of code, and right now I'm not in a mood to basically unnecessarily put a lot of lines of code. So this is our input. to the bedrock. This is a very standard code we have when a response is returned. So we basically try to get into that text inside of the output, inside of the message, which is an object again. Output contains a message object, then message contains a content array, and then that content array contains your uh, text. So even that I'm moving inside, and the whatever is there inside of the text block is what I'm pushing out as an output. Okay, so that we don't have to see that uh, uh, iteration again and again, where we see output, message, content, text, and then the actual uh, bedrock response, right? So we have get rid of that. So this is something which, it depends on what model you are using, so formats may be different. So do this change based on your use case. Okay, so same code I have put in the risk analysis main.py also, so you can have a look at that and change it accordingly, right? And then after that, once we have the bedrock summary, then I have created a utility function to extract the overall compliance, because we have told it to send overall compliance uh, as a separate entity, which will internally contain your compliance score and your compliance status, right? So whatever is there inside of overall compliance, this particular function will search. So we have used text search because converting that model output into JSON can become difficult sometimes, which is what I am facing right now. So I have to do text search, right? And it works fine. Okay, and similarly in the risk analysis, we need one again same text I have used to go into the actual response. Okay, output inside message, inside content, inside text, same thing. So this is the exact same code I have taken from the compliance. Okay, because we want consistency, and I have removed all the other lines of code which were not getting used. We can get to that when we move to more advanced scenarios, right? So after that, there is a small change in risk analysis as compared to your compliance, because risk analysis we already have those numbers showing up in the actual output. So what I'm doing is I'm searching those two strings separately, and then putting them under an object only. Okay, so and then that object gets put like this into the actual output. Okay, so we will call it the risk analysis findings, right? And put overall risk score into the overall risk score attribute, and similarly the overall confidence. Okay, and bedrock result, again whatever I am getting after the passed output, the function which I just showed, same thing I am sending as an output, so that we have both the things, the risk analysis findings as well as the total output from the model, which will contain other things like clauses and so on and so forth. Similarly for compliance, very same stuff. If you go here, you will see that this is the model output, which is the total output after the parsing and text searching and everything, and then this is the overall compliance, which contains the compliance score as well as the compliance status, right? So this also will make it same model response. We will call it model response only. in compliance.main also. Okay, so everything is same. Overall compliance in here we call it we will call it compliance findings only instead of overall compliance. Okay, got it. Okay, hope it makes sense. Okay, so this was about the fine tuning or tweaking little bit the compliance and risk analysis um, agents to basically remove some redundancies and get the findings what we need. Now we will go to the actual Lambda we were trying to build. Okay, so this is the prompt for that. Okay, let's go. By the way, the fine tuning for risk analysis and compliance you can do on your own as well, because it's a very specific scenario. The prompts which I have used may not be very useful for you, and plus I have done a lot of changes. What I felt, and many a times I have not used the Copilot also. So whatever worked for me in some other project, I have just copied that function snip of code for compliance and risk analysis, and um, made sure that I don't take much time doing that, and I make it more simpler, right? So yes, coming back, it has created a decision folder. Okay, and inside that it has created the main.py. Okay, this main.py, yes, this is what I think we asked it to do. Let me just rename it to the in lowercase, the decision. Okay, now we can also have a trigger file, which takes an event trigger file would contain event status and score. Compliance findings, right? And in this format. Okay, so let's get that format real quick. Okay, it will be there here, right? Let me call it the compliance status so that it doesn't get confused. Compliance status and overall compliance score. I'm just making life easy for this guy so that it doesn't get confused. And risk analysis we will have of this format, right? Control C. Okay, change the code in main.py also based on above input event. Okay, let's see if it is able to basically create that trigger file internally in the decision folder itself, because I think we don't have a separate scripts, only one script we have put these triggers anyway inside the main folders only, which is fine. Okay, so which file it has changed? Add keep all. Okay, This is the trigger, this is the main, keep all. Okay, okay, and it has also made the changes based on the event object we have told. Okay, let me cancel this local check. Okay, so I think it looks fine to me. Whatever event, it is basically creating. So what we also told it to create is to create a decision tree where if the overall risk score is greater than or equal to 7, then we go for legal review. Compliance status is non-compliant, we make it whatever is the status, we put that status. And if confidence is less than 0.7, then it's a human review. I mean, this is just one set of decision. It's just an example of the decision metrics. Okay, so this will differ case to case based on industry, different thresholds for different industries, different type of documents like NDAs, MSAs, and so on and so forth. So what I mean to say is, we gave this in the prompt, so it has created based on this. All these things would be based on your use case, right? Okay, let's quickly test this out. Let me go to sorry, we have to trigger it with the trigger.py. Okay, so it quickly gave us this finding because it is not going to Bedrock right now. Okay, we can take help of Bedrock API if it is really required, but first I wanted to create a decision agent itself, and the major thing is to put it into into the step functions workflow. That would be the major thing, because the infra will also change since this new Lambda is coming up, and so on and so forth. So the Lambda is working fine. What I'll do is I'll stop this video right now. In the next video we will see how we need to update the ASL file to accommodate this decision Lambda, and whatever tweaks we did with the outputs of risk analysis and compliance, we will go and change in ASL file to accommodate those changes. And then we'll push the infra, including the changes we need to do for IAM, infra main, and the lambda.tf for the new Lambda. So all those things we will do in the next video. Apply the changes, and then we'll also do one round of testing whether the new decision Lambda is working as expected. So I hope to see you in the next video. By the way, if you want this kind of a AI contract review system deployed in your company, you can just check the description. You can have a consultation call with us, and we can see how we can help you there. Yes. So till next time, this is Romit signing off. Thank you.